Lead us from the false to the real is an Advaita saying or chant or prayer that deserves a little examination. If you look at it in a shallow way, you're kind of just saying, bring me to some state of reality. But if you examine it just a little bit deeper, bring us from the false to the real, basically what we're saying is that the state that everyone is living in is false. Let's find a real state. And in a nutshell, what it's saying is that the non-dual state is real. The dual state is false. So how does this help us at all? Well, this is why non-duality is just such a great way to look at the problem of humanity, the problem that most people face, because it's always saying that the solution is very simple. And you just have to stop chewing at it with your mind. So what is reality? What is the real? Shanti, Shanti, right? It can't really be defined. It's the thing that's just there. You wake up in the morning and you've woken up. What did you wake up into? You woke up into the real world. The whole night while you were sleeping, how were you sleeping? You were sleeping real. You were really sleeping. Everything that we do is in this thing we can call reality. Now remember, don't start arguing this in your mind. Reality is this, that. Reality is just a word. You can take it and make it mean whatever you want it to mean. And when I talk about it, I can take the word and make it mean whatever I want it to mean. And this is one of the reasons why we can't communicate with each other, right? We stick on these words, and everyone who's talking means something a little bit different by the word. So take this word reality, the real, and turn that into a place where there are no words, where no definition is necessary. If there's no words at all, what's left? A good little metaphor for this is you're sitting up in the mountains by a beautiful, clear mountain stream. The air's blowing, you can hear the birds singing in the trees, and the water's just lapping past. And you just relax. And for a moment, you're just looking at the stream and listening to it go. No thoughts are happening in your head at all. Nothing has changed. It's just that you've become quiet enough to notice what's actually going on. So nothing actually completely, totally alters in you when your mind stops going. Because you're always in the real, no matter what your mind is chewing about. Worry is the perfect example for this. We have so many sayings. Don't bother worrying. Worrying isn't going to do you any good. That's really true. You sit there and you worry and you worry and you worry about something. It changes nothing, right? Now, if you can do this in a different way. If you're living in a state of reality, your worry actually is an active participation in everything that's going on, because something needs to be altered and you're working on a solution towards that. That's kind of what worry really is. But when you're not worrying, and when you're worrying, you're still the same person. You're still living in this state, same place of reality. You haven't moved at all. Just it feels like something's going on because your mind is so noisy. So bring us from the false to the real. We see this as such a difficult thing to accomplish, but really it's quite easy. The second you stop imagining your reality, then you're just in the regular reality. As a matter of fact, no matter how hard you're imagining reality to be something that it's not, it still is what it is, right? I'm thinking of like a million different examples. TV shows are so good with this. There'll be some character that lost his job and he doesn't want to tell his wife. And so he's leaving the house every day and going off and pretending like he's going to work. So she's sitting around thinking, oh, he still has a job, everything's fine, when that's actually not the case. But no matter what she believes, even though she's been told a lie, she believes this, right? So no matter what she believes, the reality is he's lost his job. No income is coming in. So there's always reality, no matter whether you believe it or not. And we can sometimes feel very upset when we go from the false into the real, especially if we feel that someone's fooled us, right? The big trick in non-duality is that we're fooling ourselves. That's just all there is to it. Stop fooling yourself and boom, we're in this real world. Now, a final little tip on this. You can try to stop believing in everything and turn into a very negative state because you haven't changed your worldview. So it's like everything's false. Everyone's lying to me, and you turn into this totally nihilistic selfishness, right? That's not the real thing. When you actually see past your own illusions, everything's connected and beautiful. The only reason that we stick to these illusions is because we think they're keeping us safe. But they are actually the things that's destroying us, that's causing all our pain. So when you actually drop that illusion of a separate world, then lead us from the false to the real. The real is this incredibly interconnected space where trustworthiness lives, where we're able to get along not just with each other, but with the natural world, where we're part of everything. Looking at it logically again, the real has to be abundant. It just has to be. Otherwise, life wouldn't exist at all. The real has to be interconnected. My reality isn't different from your reality. We want to believe that, well, everybody, whatever you believe, that's your world. It's like, no, we're all sharing the same world. Let's start working together on this world. So when you actually step into this place where the false is gone and the real is there, you've stepped into a place of beauty and connectedness. And it's not just because existence is that way. It's because the human brain is wired to see this beauty. That's why we have such big brains, so that we can participate in this beautiful interconnectedness of life. And so you shut down, you stop paying attention to the small negative part of your consciousness, which is the words that keep spinning in your head. Stop paying attention to that, and all of a sudden, we are all together in this interconnected field of harmony. This is why it's not really just a game. Lead us from the false to the real. It's not something you're trying to do for yourself. It's something you're trying to do for everyone and everything. Step out of that separateness and join everyone and everything in this field of connection. Lead us from the false to the real.